after doing everybody a favor and taking the whole of 2017 off. In 2018, Kanye would be back on social media, campaigning to make his wife uncomfortable again. At the end of January, he attempted to clone Kim Kardashian, metaphorically speaking, by staging his Yeezy Season 6 fashion show using nothing but Kim Kardashian lookalikes as models. This included a cavalcade of sizzling Kim Kardashians, including notably the Kim clone who Kim herself ironically cloned her whole career from in the first place, Paris Hilton, who did her best Kim impression as part of Kanye's show, which Kim posted on her own Instagram along with the caption, "Forever the OG." OG in this case standing for Original Gobbler. A bit strange but kinda cool. However, following that, on Valentine's Day 2018, in a bizarre attempt to, I assume, show his affection for Kim, after returning to Instagram, Kanye spent a whopping 7 hours posting nothing but uncaptioned pictures of famous power couples, before promptly deleting his Instagram once again. It was unclear what state their relationship was in at this point, but considering one of the last things Kanye did before his breakdown was post 100 Margiela fashion pictures to his IG, perhaps this latest flurry of uploads was cause for concern. And if you're playing Kanye breakdown bingo, get ready to scratch another item off your cards, as in April, Kanye would return to Twitter once again to praise his favorite president Donald Trump once more, tweeting his adoration of Trump despite not agreeing on everything, saying bizarrely that they both share dragon energy. You don't have to agree with Trump, but the mob can't make me not love him. We are both dragon energy. He is my brother. I love everyone. I don't agree with everything anyone does. That's what makes us individuals, and we have the right to independent thought. A confused Donald Trump would even respond to this tweet saying, "Thank you, Kanye. Very cool." That same day, Kanye posts a picture with record executive Lyle Cohen wearing a red Make America Great Again or MAGA hat. And Kanye would continue to be spotted in his MAGA hat by paparazzi in the days that followed. These politically charged antics would grab headlines. However, Kanye would follow up the negative media attention with actual music too. He'd be seen doing a quick freestyle whilst wearing the MAGA hat for TMZ, and dropping a throwaway track with Atlanta trap legend T.I. at the end of April, a song called Ye vs. the People, which would see Kanye rapping his political views in a back and forth lyrical debate with T.I., responding to his points on the track. Over the course of the song, Kanye would say that Trump's election proved that he could be president too, as well as suggesting that he had been wearing the MAGA hat to try and give Trump's movement a new, more positive direction. T.I. would respond to Kanye's Trump support on the song with a great point, saying, "What you willing to lose for the point to be proved? This shit is stubborn, selfish, bullheaded, even for you." And perhaps he didn't realize just how prophetic these bars would be. But in this one lyric, T.I. perfectly predicted what would happen to Kanye as the story went on, suggesting that Kanye's obsession with Donald Trump and the presidency might indeed end up costing him everything he loves. Kanye would drop another lyric in the song where he likened his attempts to bridge the gap between political opinions in America to a gang truce attempting to bring the rival Bloods and Crips together. But ironically, in spite of his well-intentioned bars, Kanye's Trump-supporting actions had pissed off the Bloods and Crips specifically. And in direct response to his public support for Trump, LA rapper Daz Dillinger came out calling specifically for the LA Crips to physically attack Kanye.
Yo, national alert. All the Crips out there, y'all Kanye up. You see that motherfucker? His ass up on GP. It's Crip shit, nigga. We're gonna show you how we come together and ride on your motherfucking ass. Cause we got a Crip alert for Kanye. You don't speak on Crip guys, nigga. We the Crip guys, nigga.
And in spite of this citywide Crip alert, from here Kanye would continue to talk a whole lot of offensive crud. On May the 1st, 2018, Kanye drops into TMZ for a live interview to elaborate on his Trump support, offending a lot more people in the process. Most notably saying that he believed that slavery was a choice. For the record, he did walk back these comments in a tweet afterwards, saying, "To make myself clear, of course I know that slaves did not get shackled and put on a boat by free will. My point is for us to have stayed in that position, even though the numbers were on our side, means that we were mentally enslaved. The reason why I brought up the 400 years point is because we can't be mentally imprisoned for another 400 years. We need free thought now. Even the statement was an example of free thought. It was just an idea." That was the gaffe that caught the most headlines from this TMZ interview, but there was a whole lot more to it. During the appearance, Kanye would suggest that the only reason that he met Trump at the end of 2016 was because he was still strung out on drugs from his previous hospital visit, and it's following this part of the interview that Kanye's rant begins to get extremely erratic, as he begins to look as if he is having another episode live on TMZ, turning away from the interviewers and yelling at the entire TMZ office. And as you already saw earlier on, this is the part of the interview where Kanye would admit to becoming addicted to opioids following his liposuction surgery, which contributed to his 2016 breakdown and tour cancellation. Now, this statement was potentially very damaging to Kanye, as since that breakdown and tour cancellation, he had been battling with his insurance company, with this revelation of an opioid addiction potentially even damaging his case and leading to the cancellation not being covered by his policy. But things would only get worse from here, with Ye eventually telling the entire TMZ office that he had not been taking all of the meds that he was given after leaving the hospital, a statement which was met by complete silence. This was a very erratic interview and definitely captured Kanye at a low point, to say the least. He continues to argue with the entire TMZ office directly about a bunch of issues, including Scientology, and it's during this out-of-control rant when TMZ staff member Van Lathan bravely confronted Kanye mid-rant, disagreeing with his points and saying that he essentially stands for nothing, with the tense confrontation ending with a whimper as a flustered Kanye, unable to adequately respond to any of Van's points, insists on giving him a hug rather than a coherent response. Kanye's TMZ meltdown was the stuff of legends. And very weirdly, the same day that interview was going viral, Kanye drops another interview with Charlemagne of The Breakfast Club, filmed inside his creepy minimalist home. In this interview, Kanye seems a completely different person, as we see a stoic Ye calmly giving reasoning behind his recent behavior. Charlemagne asked him about his breakdown, which he called a breakthrough.
Breakdown, or I like to say the breakthrough.
With Kanye going on to say that fear, stress, and being controlled and manipulated caused his breakthrough, with no mention of opioids. Now, I can't show you much of this interview for copyright reasons, but what I will say is that it is quite literally the polar opposite of his TMZ appearance that came out the same day. I'm not sure if this was by design, with these contrasting interviews being a true expression of Ye's bipolar suffering personality, or simply the natural result of somebody suffering this condition doing back-to-back interviews in completely different states, giving wildly different answers to the very same questions. Either which way, Kanye's bipolar diagnosis was forming a massive part of his life at this point, and his newly diagnosed condition would quite literally be the centerpiece of his next album, Ye, which released exactly a month after these contrasting interviews were released. The album sported a cover depicting the peaks of Wyoming and text saying, "I hate being bipolar, it's awesome," with Kim pointing out that Kanye actually shot the cover art on his iPhone on the way to the album's listening party. Now, the album itself had a lot of weird and alarming references to Kim. In fact, the opening track, titled "I Thought About Killing You," contains lyrics where Kanye says just that. "Today I seriously thought about killing you. I contemplated premeditated murder, and I think about killing myself, and I love myself way more than I love you. You'd only care enough to kill somebody you love. The most beautiful thoughts are always besides the darkest." Now, it seems the overall vibe of this song is Kanye's bipolar causing him to have conflicting and destructive thoughts. In this case, suicidal thoughts, as he says, "I thought about killing myself, and I love myself way more than I love you." And honestly, my first thought when I heard this song was, wait, is he talking about killing Kim? I got immediate O.J. Simpson vibes. I'm not gonna lie, it's messed up. In fact, that chilling opening lyric of this album made me think a lot about Eminem's song about killing his ex-wife, the painfully ironically titled track Kim. But thankfully, Kanye would use more of this short 7-track album to elaborate on his feelings towards his wife, revealing the inner turmoils that him and Kim had been facing during his time out of the limelight. On the track All Mine, Kanye seems to reference his earlier infidelity, mentioning several examples of famous celebrities caught cheating, as well as admitting that he wastes time on basic girls. It's hard not to hear this song and think that Kanye is subliminally discussing his own desires and potentially past actions when it comes to infidelity. The track Wouldn't Leave is dedicated to his long-suffering wife Kim, and sees Kanye opening up with gratitude about Kim ultimately sticking with him through all of their struggles. Kanye raps in the first verse about saying that slavery was a choice on TMZ, suggesting that Kim had called him screaming that they were going to lose everything, with Ye admitting that he had told her that she could leave him then, but she refused to do it, with Kanye ending the track ultimately praising Kim and all the women who stick by their man through the worst of times and decisions. And Kim would stick by Kanye's side quite literally, being there right next to him through the tears at an emotional listening party where the song and album was played in full on location at Jackson Hole in Wyoming. After this, on the album comes the track No Mistakes, where Kanye declares that he still loves Kim. And the album ends with the moving track Violent Crimes, where Kanye opens up about how having daughters can change a man and make them show more respect to women, unless they're Amber Rose. Ultimately, Kanye's Ye album, while not being the best received project in his catalogue, represented a massive milestone in his personal life. He came back from the brink after his meltdown, and while it seemed to take him the entirety of 2017 to recover amid his bipolar diagnosis and a mountain of personal battles to overcome, Ye ultimately did it and came back, showing the world that his creativity and work ethic was still intact. And if the lyrics of the project was anything to go by, he'd learned his lessons, was repentant for his mistakes, and had gained some self-awareness. But sadly, despite all of the personal progress and introspection, in the months that followed, Ye would continue to court controversy and end up repeating some of the same mistakes that had driven his fans and family away from him.